Well, howdy folks, it's Billy Jean. I'm back again with my Traxxas TRX4 that my wife bought me for my birthday. And in my last video, I took a first crack at creating a RC crawling course, and didn't really videotape it because I forgot to. But now I'm going to be adding on to my course, and plan to take y'all along for a little make it up as we go DIY. So let's flip around and see what we're working with. Alright, so in front of me I have a pile of scraps. This little T thing that I made, about an 8-foot section of red oak, a few pieces of 2x4 and 2x6, a couple pieces of 4x4. I got some of this leftover wire mesh from a catio project that I just completed. I got 2 sections of that are about 8 feet long. One of them I cut in half and folded all the sharp edges over to create this like 2-inch wide track. So my idea is to kind of make a elevated wire suspension bridge. So I'm gonna have these wood blocks on the end here, probably using this piece of plywood up underneath like that, with the block on top, and then this track mounted to the block. And the other end, I'm thinking, bring this T up here like this, and then attach this to the T up there like that, kind of making a wire suspension. We gotta play with the height of the T to make it not quite as tall as it is. But so we'll come up one side with the suspension, and then go down the other side with the other half of the wire mesh. That will kind of tie into some of our pieces that we made. So my whole system is kind of modular. So this can sit at the end like this, and then you can crawl up the ramp here and then onto the suspension part to go over, and it'll end on the other side in a similar fashion. So or maybe I'll just make a new ramp to get up to the bridge there. So we'll see. And in our demonstration video, we noticed that the articulation on this is pretty deep. So what I thought about doing is just adding some random pieces of wood floating on here in the deep sections. Not so much this piece here, but on the long one over here. So in these deep valleys, putting some just loose boards in there so that it doesn't just bottom out the truck on each of the humps, and it gives it some more difficult articulation through there because you got loose boards and whatnot in there. So we're gonna give that a try. And of course we have our wood bridge that we made. So that's kind of that. But yeah, so let's see what we can do with this pile of scraps here. Alright, so we're going to start out just by I guess attaching this to our board to start out the base. We'll just take some screws. So 4 screws should do it. And it looks like we're starting to rain. So I'm gonna pull it in under the eave of the house a little bit. Okay, now that we got that attached, we're gonna use some longer screws and attach these blocks. Kind of like that. Okay, that seems to be about even, so we'll roll with that. And I'm using long 3-inch screws because I need a lot of, because we're going to be stretching the wire across the thing, we need a lot of hold, you know, so. We'll probably end up bracing it up with some smaller wood later. But using these long boards or long screws should get us into the ballpark of what we want. Good strong platform. Now we gotta figure out how we're going to attach the mesh onto the board. I'm gonna put the sharp bits on the inside for safety. Put that there. Other piece over here, we gotta kind of measure the truck distance between the wheels. So that looks pretty good. I can come in just a little bit on this side like that. That looks like a good distance. So come to the inside edge of each of these boards like that. So the inside of this, inside of that. We'll attach these on here. I think what I'll do is I'll take a piece of scrap wood, put it over the top, and run the screws through the center here, and that'll hold it all in place. So we got this piece of oak, so we'll cut a piece off of this, the width of that, and then we'll use that. something like that. As you can see, I'm not doing anything too exacting. It's just all thrown together. Haven't really measured anything other than the width of the track. Alright. Throw a couple more screws in here just for good measures. Now, G-piece. So that looks like it's going to be a little bit steep. So what I'm going to cut the bottom of this off a little bit. Let's see how steep we want it. Probably like that would be good. So take about 6 inches off the bottom. That looks good. All right. Kind of flip the whole contraption over. Line the board up on the marks. A couple more in at an angle, some longer ones. Okay. Looking pretty good so far. Let's try it out, see how it works. I'd say that looks pretty sketchy. Looks a little too easy. We'll have to do something on the other side to make it more difficult. Okay, so I've decided to add a couple wooden blocks for an added layer of difficulty. Alright, and on the other side, I'm thinking, what about bamboo legs? Let's see how we can attach that. Let me figure it out and then I'll get right back to you. Okay, so I flipped the whole rig around and here's kind of what I figured to do. I'm going to attach this piece of oak at the bottom here and I'll explain it as I go. First off, we'll attach this. Alright, next, attach a piece of wood at the top here to hold the metal. Now we're going to center this in the metal, and then we're going to measure here, and we're going to probably cut this much off because I'm going to put a block of wood on the end here to hold that in place. Kind of like that, you know? Propped up there. It goes like that. A couple scrap pieces here. We'll channel this in place like that. And then we just have to figure out how to secure the top. Okay. That's one. Measure this one. Same length as the other one. Okay. Now before we go locking that down, let's make sure that our wheels will center on the tracks. Yep. Ooh, that's gonna be sketchy. All right. So maybe we can use this to secure the tops temporarily. Alright. Ooh, doggy. Sketchy. Alright, now let's see if we can maybe take a piece of wood and just put it over the top and screw it down in here. That'll hold the top together. Cut it off about where the holes are. that. Yep. All right. That's a sketch artist if I've ever seen one. All right, so now we're gonna put a board over the top of that, lock that in place. That should work. One more. Longer screw up here. Snug it in place. All right, let's see how it works. This is Super Sketchy Suspension Bridge, take 1. I can't believe I did it one take. All right, other way. Oh, that's more like it. Take 2. All right, this side is super slick because it's raining and my tires are slick, so that's a sketchy bridge. Give me a thumbs up if you like it.